standard. With each generation of consoles, the one thing that has been pushed to the limit has been the graphical capabilities. They must be bigger, better, and able to run smoothly while also handling sharper and better graphics. The PlayStation has always tried to boast this with the PS4 and PS4 Pro, and Xbox has also been close behind with an answer. The Xbox One X, the latest model of the Xbox One, is able to handle 60 FPS and 4K on certain games and, in certain cases, is practically the peak performer for game systems and consumer electronics. We've just entered the age of 4K with certain movies and games, but if the next-gen Xbox is going to come and contend, it has to do better. But how? Well, people have been speculating that in order to rise to the top, the new console will have to maintain 4K resolution and 60 FPS for all games. Now, despite the amazing resolution 4K offers, to truly understand the scope of it, you'll need a 4K TV, which can cost you around $1,000 when combined with your new gaming system. So, in short, the 60 FPS will be more relevant to the average gamer than the native 4K resolution. Still, to have console games run at a consistent 60 FPS frame rate says a lot and is definitely going to be a hard selling point if this is the case with the new console. The true all-in-one gaming system. Over the years, gaming consoles have been doing all they can to be more than just gaming consoles. Ever since the advent of digital media, consoles have been trying to cram and showcase much more than the ability to play your favorite games. With the Xbox One, we saw a hub for streaming services, TV, and music, as well as browsing the internet. These features were all added in an attempt to make the Xbox a true all-in-one entertainment system that could replace a lot of other electronic devices. Now, we'll undoubtedly see this again with the new Xbox. But what more can they do to make the Xbox a true all-in-one media hub for the home? To accomplish this, Microsoft will need to extend to third parties, and not just with Netflix and Hulu, but also Amazon and other similar services. Despite the news and controversy, home assistants like Amazon's Alexa and Google Home are becoming more and more commonplace. Microsoft already has a Cortana assistant for the PC based off the popular Halo character. There's no reason why Cortana wouldn't become integrated into the next-gen Xbox and become a home assistant like Alexa or Google Home. Going back to the past. With each new generation of consoles, we see them become bigger and better. Well, bigger in the capacity sense. The latest addition to the Xbox line, the Xbox One X, boasted a 1TB hard drive, which is quite large among consoles, but admittedly still average compared to PC. To play these more graphically intense games, the new Xbox will have to make room for such demands. It's reasonable to guess that a new Xbox will at least come with a 2TB hard drive option to meet the demands of larger, more graphically demanding games. Even so, a larger hard drive only addresses one of the issues facing the new console. A while back, when the Xbox One was announced, backwards compatibility was an issue. Often, people criticized the new console because it wouldn't read the older game discs, and worse, sharing games between friends was going to be a chore with the online-only feature they were boasting at the time. However, to rectify this issue going forward, backwards compatibility should be added by Microsoft in order to please older fans who are still holding out for HD remastered editions of their favorite games. A release date. What's the one thing any gamer is pining for when thinking about a new console? No, it's not the exclusives or the specs or even the cost. It's the release date. Without a release date, all other discussions and topics become irrelevant. It doesn't matter how impressive the features and specs are right now if the machine comes out in half a decade. Given that the Xbox One was released back in 2013, it's already been around for 4.5 years, while the latest form of the Xbox One, the Xbox One X, just came out last year. Is it too soon for a new system? Yes. Yes, it is. With a new upgraded system still in production and on the market, Microsoft is in no real rush to develop the next-gen Xbox console. That being said, it's highly unlikely we'll be getting a teaser, or at the very least a release date for the new system, even if they haven't fully developed it yet at E3 2018. Given all this information, we would estimate that we might get our first glimpse of the system in 2020. If we're being liberal with our estimates, we might see the next-gen Xbox on the shelves around 2021 or 2022. Illumiroom. With the advent of virtual reality, the idea of augmenting the standard view of the game has been toyed with. While VR has taken the gaming world by storm, it has yet to see stability and is still kind of seen as a novelty. There have been other attempts outside of virtual reality, however, to augment the gaming experience to the player's benefit. In 2017, Microsoft released a demo concept called Illumiroom, which aimed to expand the reach of the game beyond the TV and make a gaming room feel more like a gaming room. By hooking up your game to a projector, Illumiroom would project added details around the TV and give the player extra information like enemy locations and vital information in the HUD. Similar to how IMAX widens the view of the screen, the Illumiroom aimed to enhance the player's experience by giving them an added layer of depth and information while playing. This technology could be implemented with the new Xbox console as a replace for the woefully underperforming and infamous Xbox Kinect. Rather than having a barely functioning camera aimed at the player, this projector could help enhance their experience. Even in theory, this sounds much better than the Kinect because instead of being reliant on other games, the Illumiroom can actually improve games. An end to console wars? As fun as it may be to play the console war game every 4 years or so, eventually, technology will become so advanced that the idea of console wars will be a thing of the past. In fact, we may be seeing something similar right now in the current generation. If we look back to some of the earliest console wars, we saw huge leaps in technology from the original Xbox to the Xbox 360, from the PS2 to the PS3, and from the GameCube to the Wii. Now, as time has gone by, we've seen consoles go through more incremental changes rather than these large leaps and bounds. In 2017, Microsoft hardware developers have been quoted saying they're working towards a future without console wars and striving for more of a family of devices. This suggests the next-gen Xbox may not be the supreme powerhouse we thought it was, and instead might just be an incremental improvement on the Xbox One X. How we play the game. Perhaps the biggest debate in gaming in recent years has been the relevance of physical media. Recently, we've seen CDs all but vanish, and even Blu-ray sales are getting lower and lower despite the advent of 4K Ultra HD discs. For a good long while now, we've seen the rise of DLC and online-only games, with downloaded games nearly level with physical disc sales. This trend would suggest that physical media is out the door. But hold on, there may be more to this than you think. While physical media sales are down, it's worth noting back when the Xbox One was being marketed as being a digital-only console, people lost their minds. Granted, it was 2013 at the time and the technology was not really there to support a digital-only console. Steam-like? No other platform in gaming has captured the indie bug more than Steam. For years now, Steam has been the place to find the next big thing in gaming, whether it's an indie hit or a new game to upend the latest trend. Microsoft needs to recognize this and integrate more of this model into the new system. Now, obviously, Microsoft can't just bring Steam itself onto the next-gen Xbox console because they're owned by two different companies and sharing revenue can be dicey. Even so, Steam really has nothing to gain from joining Microsoft and being on consoles. This may lead Microsoft to develop their own library of games and feature it in a Steam-like fashion, even possibly opening the door for indie developers to promote and sell their games on it. Just think, with this kind of push, the next Cuphead or Celeste could be on the next generation Xbox. Seeing is believing. We've talked at length about the graphical capabilities of the new consoles, and while they're an important part of what sells a console, there are still some other factors one needs to consider. When looking at enhancing the interface of games, we looked at the Illumiroom and the possibility of VR and AR expansion. But what about the sound? It's clear that Microsoft wants to make the Xbox a true sensory-enriched gaming experience. With the Illumiroom project, it's entirely possible for Microsoft to develop a 4K-compatible surround sound system capable of enhancing the player's experience and perhaps even putting the player in the actual environment to the best of their abilities. Virtual reality development is increasing, and with the premiere of Dolby Atmos, we're one step closer to full immersion. Dolby Atmos, to put it simply, is a new audio format capable of giving the listener full range of sound in a 360-degree bubble in their living room, far more than a simple surround sound system. Halo 6. Each company has their champion when it comes to exclusives, and undoubtedly, Microsoft's biggest is Halo. It has been a good long while since Halo 5 Guardians was released. In a perfect world, with E3 2018 coming around the corner, we could see a new console being teased with Halo 6 as a launch title for the next-gen Xbox. It would be an incredible announcement. Microsoft has other exclusives as well, like Forza and Gears of War, but none of them hold a candle to Halo, and we know a new game is in the works. Brian Gerard, 343 Industries community manager, went to Twitter to drop some hints, saying the next Halo game is on the way. Having Halo 6 at E3 2018 without the announcement of a new console could mean the next-gen Xbox console is more far off than we realized. But if the two are put together, it could mean Halo 6 would be a launch title for the new system. It seems like all our hopes and dreams depend on E3